I cannot believe this dance made it to air.
Kids are dressed so skimpy.
So hot.
In the second episode.
Mac and our butts.
They went down and opened their legs.
This is easily the most inappropriate dance to ever appear on Dance Moms. Hello there, my name is Color Kevy, superstar, legend, and professional dancer specializing in ballet, musical theater, and street dance. Today we're going to be discussing the group dance from episode 2, season 1 of the infamous show Dance Moms, Electricity. They competed this dance at Star Power in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is like Amish town, which is absolutely ridiculous, and I cannot believe that they even thought this was a smart idea. Let's start off with the costumes. They're wearing these electric cerulean blue satin crop tops and booty shorts with rhinestones and like black ruffling around the back, kind of in a half tutu, cupcake tutu shape on the booty shorts. They have black thigh-high stockings with little blue bows and these like arm garters. They're not like gloves because their hands are free. They have these like arm coverings that have the same matching rhinestones and a blue bow on it. They have this big frizzy teased hair. Brooke has 3 ponytails and everyone has like little blue bows in their hair as well. It's really frizzy, it's really big. The makeup's really big, huge lashes, harsh contour, and a red lip. You know I live for a red lip, even though you never see me wearing them. And then of course, black stocking and black jazz shoes, because we're delicate women. The costumes are pretty much blue replicas of the red single ladies dance that Molly Long choreographed back in 2010. In fact, a lot of this dance is just a recreation of that number. The costumes catch your eye, but for all the wrong reasons. It is incredibly inappropriate. It is incredibly suggestive. It is not right. Even looking at it in like the lens of 2025, it's like, oh my gosh. But I will say the color looks great on all the girls. I love the color of the costume. The style is incredibly inappropriate. Even for that like West Coast sassy jazz thing they were going for, it just wasn't cute. But I will say, for today's competition standards, it's kind of tame. I didn't see any booty cheeks, and that's like all you see at competitions nowadays, but that's another video. So Electricity is this high energy jazz, West Coast sassy jazz influenced number, but then it also has some acro elements thrown into it. There is a turning section, there is some acro elements, there's lots of body isolations, lots of fan kicks, lots of gyrating, and then there are a couple moments where they open their legs, way too many for my liking. But if this video has been to your liking, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. Thanks, friend. Let's break the dance down into sections, starting with the beginning. Chloe starts off the routine with this glissade prep into a straddle leap. She has a lot of energy, she's blowing kisses to the audience, she's giving that like sass right from the start. But I would have loved to see the glissade into the straddle leap be a bit cleaner. I would like to see more of like glissade into a leap rather than like this like cheer-esque approach that she did. Brooke comes after Chloe and she does this gorgeous front aerial, no notes. She got a lot of height on her hiker's jump, her hiker's prep before it, and that's the reason why she was able to get over her aerial so quickly. Maddie does a double pirouette into switch leap. I feel like she could have gotten a quad in there. It's like a double. Maddie, really? Paige does a nice chaîné jeté to the floor, and then she stands up and does a right battement. I would love to see the shoulders come down in the battement, and I would love to see the hips stay down as well. She has a tendency to like, leg goes up, shoulders go up, hips go up. Nia comes out and she does this super slow fan kick with a bent supporting leg. I would have loved to see as she did the fan kick, if like the head went with it, or even like the opposite of like, and then like run into the line. You know, if you're gonna bend the supporting knee, it's not gonna be like this amazing grand extension. Give me some sass, give me some personality, give me some head, give me some port de bras. And before they get to the single file line where they shake their hips in front of the audience, no one's really committed to the pose. I'm not seeing the feet like in a full bevel, pushing that arch and that ankle as forward as they can. I don't see enough like, I don't see like enough shoulder forward. I don't see enough like face. But again, they're filming this incredibly inappropriate dance, this incredibly like suggestive dance in front of their family, in front of this like random camera crew that they met a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I understand their apprehension. They're in the middle of Amish town. They probably saw a horse and buggy on their bus ride up and they're like, what the are we about to do? What did our mom sign us up for? So I don't blame them for the poses being a little haphazard. They run into a single line, get this amazing shot of Paige's face. She was feeling it. Diva was in the moment. They do this pose, but no one really gives it like enough hip. There's not enough hip placement in the pose and it's just kind of like, again, haphazard. But again, they're uncomfortable and I don't blame them for being uncomfortable, and that's kind of gonna be like half their critiques of this number. They do this coupe prep turn with a flex foot, this like flex coup de pied, but then everyone steps onto like a turned in foot No one's really getting up into their releve. No one's really touching coupe like straight away. They're just kind of like floating. The spotting isn't like sharp and like letting the upper body move faster than the lower body. Issues. There's a lack of clarity in the timing and the movements. Everyone's kind of doing their own variation of similar steps. There was a major timing issue on this like arm swing to the dip. Everyone was on completely different times with that. And Nia especially was like super early on it because she was like already here. And then you have Brooke and Paige who are like scrambling to get up to get to the bottom up. And then we get to probably the grossest move in the entire number. They do the squat and they just like pop open their legs in like booty shorts. And it's like, oh, Maddie, you're 8. It's a lot. Nia forgets to do the squat, and that was her body doing her a favor because she was like, this does not feel right. Dr. Holly is gonna get on my case if I do this in front of an audience. But then we slap our butt later, so it's like, maybe she just did forget. And that brings up the question, should the girls have just gone for it? Like, should the girls have just like given it their all? Or should they have been apprehensive about the steps? It seems like Maddie was really going for it, and she was dancing like she was 17. We're still even getting started on that. But then you have the older ones like Brooke and Paige and Nia, who I think kind of, and even Chloe, understood maybe how inappropriate this was, or maybe their parents had a discussion of like, hey, this is like wild. So maybe that's why there's apprehension in their movement, or maybe it's just a style they're not used to, but they really want to be. I don't know, but it's uncomfortable to watch them do it because you can tell how uncomfortable they are with the steps. Before the turn section, Paige goes into the tilt kick, but she doesn't like fully anticipate it, so she doesn't get a chance to go up on releve. Turn section is a mess. Brooke's not opening up to second. Paige is not hitting the right second position, so she's in like a plie and not really hitting her releve as she opens up to second. And then Maddie and Chloe are the only ones who are in sync on the turns. But then Nia is just in the background slapping her butt with the biggest smile on her face, which is equal parts funny and like terrifying. The jetés to the ground were okay. And then we get into the tour jetés. The girls aren't going through first, and as they hit splits or whatever in their tour jeté, they're not exactly dégaging the bottom foot, and they're worrying too much about the working leg, I guess, instead of like the supporting bottom leg. And then they're not ending it in a nice allongé position. They're just kind of like scooping through and like not giving the movement the finish it deserves. Honestly, they're just like hurdling themselves through the step instead of really feeling the jump and going through every position of the jump. Throughout the leap, they're not using their upper body and their lower body in conjunction with one another to allow them to flow through the leap. I will say the pose they hit, the like, after the tour jeté was like super cute, but Paige didn't have her knees together, so. At the prep into the single attitude turn, there was so much winding up for the attitude. We did not hit our back attitude position. Everyone was stingy with their plie. No one gave it a nice, deep, juicy plie so they could get up into the full releve and really get that full revolution around. It was just like boop, boop, instead of boop, boop. This isolation combo is a mess. Brooke doesn't know what she's doing. I don't think anyone really fully knows it. The hands are all in different places. There's not enough bend in the knee to like really bounce and groove into the step. On the duck walk, some legs are just like fully open and it's just kind of like this, but I need like more feminization in the hand. I need the cut, boom. Do this weird turn where some like do a passe, but then some are doing like a flex pencil, some are doing a coupe turn around. I'm like, what is it? Again, we're just doing our own thing. Throughout this part of the number, Brooke is lost. On this next step, does the head roll forward or does the head roll back? They go into the layouts, and I wish that there was more lean. I wish that either the torsos were all facing the corner with the leg going this way, or the torsos were all parallel, leg going this way. There's some going front, some going to the side, some going like Brooke's going full back into a layout. Make a decision, and let's keep it, ladies. Those thigh drops look like the most painful thing ever. That was like a super out. But then they go into the straddle, and they go into the Valdez. No one's really getting any airtime on the Valdez yet. Again, like really push up and like allow yourself to leap over the puddle instead of just kind of like landing in it. They do these Italian pas de chats, but they're not landing in a tight fifth. As they get to the end of the pas de chat, they're just kind of like hitting and stumbling out of it. This pose, no one hit it at the same time. So if I'm the photographer at the dance competition taking a picture, I'm not getting a good picture of that because Chloe's doing her tilt, penché, kick, and then like Maddie's hitting her pose at a different time, and Paige gets there late, and then Nia's and then Brooke's like doing her own thing, she's like prepping for the layout. It's a lot. Everyone does this like head turn differently. Is it a head roll or is it a turn? I don't know. I don't think they know either. On the fan kicks, there was a lot of like lurching forward, and again, we have bent knees. They're all flexible enough to do like a fan kick in releve with like stretched supporting legs. I don't know why they're not doing that. It doesn't even seem like a stylistic choice, it just seems weird. But I will say the side aerials were better than Party Party Party. Then the last step is this chaîné, but then like Brooke does a soutenu into a jeté. Like you can tell everyone's tired, like no one gets off the ground, no one's like hitting that full jeté split. They're just kind of like lagging into it. And then it was just a really weak finish. The poses were kind of weird. They were in the shadows towards the end of the stage. They kind of knew that they all had messed up at one point or another in the dance. So overall, the number started off with a bang. It was like really powerful. I was like, ooh, we're gonna get a number. But then as they got to the line, as they went through the turn section, as they straddled their legs, the energy and the confidence just went down, 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 down. They were just obviously uncomfortable with the dance, with the style, with the movement in general, and just it was never gonna be their dance. Some of the girls were trying to perform and be flirty and sassy, but then you have Brooke, again, with like this pained expression on her face, like, please get me off the stage. But again, if I was 13 years old, was doing this for national television, I too would be embarrassed. Standout performers are Maddie and Chloe. Both gave it like their own special energy. I will say, I think Chloe at the beginning of the number came out with so much power, but then like kind of plateaued. I won't say she went down, she plateaued. But then you have Maddie who like allowed like a slow rise, and towards the end of the number like was really giving it to the kids. This dance did not place. Surprising, oh my gosh. And I think it was for good reason. Not only was it inappropriate, but it was just sloppy. It was not a good dance. It was not clean, it was not well rehearsed. The thing about Single Ladies was that it was so clean, it was so well rehearsed, it was suggestive and inappropriate, absolutely, but you could tell the talent of the kids and you could tell how much they shined in the number. You cannot say the same for this. My final thoughts are that this dance was obviously created to be suggestive, it was created for controversy, it was created for views, and this should have been the mom's wake-up call of this show does not care about the well-being of me or my child, because if they did, we would never be in this predicament. But again, this is dance moms after all. They are stage moms, they are dance moms. We can call it a contract issue, we can call it whatever we want. If my child was ever on stage smacking her ass in front of an audience for national television, she would not be on that show anymore. I'll say that much. The only improvement I could offer to this dance is to not do it. All right, friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, or you can go watch one of my other videos. I did a review of Party 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 that I think you would enjoy. If no one else has told you this, I believe in you, and I know your dreams are gonna come true. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.